I saw this particular video and the man loved the lady. They were on a date and he had already rated the lady as a top class, a high class lady based on her profile, based on who she was, and based on what he knew. So the lady decided to ask him a question. He said, what if I told you that I've had sex with 50 men? Would you still want to be with me? Would you still want to marry me? And the man was stunned. He could not say anything. He was just there looking. And from everything, you could see that he was almost going for a no. He could not, and he would not want to be with a lady who has had 50 men as sexual partners, right? And that's why today I want to answer the question for women generally, and also for men. Does body count matter? Like, right, the number of people that you've had sex with in the past, the number of people you've had sex with before, does it matter in your marriage? My answer to it is no, yes, and maybe. If you don't follow me, you will not know the reasons why I said my answer is no, it is yes, and it is maybe. So right now, subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow wherever you're watching this on, so that you don't get to miss the amazing things I will get to share on this particular platform, this particular handle and channel. And I'll be right back. Now, when it comes to body count and the rest, it has to do, for those who don't understand what it means how many people have you had sex with in your past, right? There are two sides to it. There are two ways we get to see it. There are two perspectives from which we can view it. The first is the perspective of women. Usually, from what I've seen out there, from what I've experienced out there, which may not be the general rule, and just speaking from my experience as a counselor of over 19 years and a family lawyer of over 11 years, is that you want to hear women. I've heard women say they don't want to marry somebody who is a virgin. They don't want to marry a man who doesn't know how to have sex, who doesn't know how to take care and treat a woman's body properly. So at least they want a man who has had sex, who has had sexual experiences before, so that he will be able to lead them, teach them, and of course satisfy their sexual fantasies. And some of these ladies are even virgins. They don't want to be attached to another learner, like, right? They don't want to be out there having to be a learner. But that's not the topic for today, because I've always said it again that no matter how much of a master you are when it comes to sex, over the time and over the period, you would always have to again and again learn, upgrade, update your skills, because we change in the race, and so we have to be flexible and adaptable to each other. So let me go straight to my answers. Does body count matter? So for men, I would say, let's start with men and let's go with no. Right? For men, it may be no, and the reason is simple, is the fact that you get to produce sufficient sperm all your life to be able to have the number of kids that you want. However, that could risk and expose you. Having multiple sexual partners could risk and expose you to the dangers out there. There are dangers out there, sexually transmitted diseases and all of that. And of course, you may have also have learned and mastered the art of detachment, not be committed, dedicated to a particular person, right? So having multiple sexual partners, having been involved in multiple sexual romantic relationship may desensitize you, right? So may make you less sensitive to commitment and the attachment required to make a marriage work. You're already used to having to leave one person and go to another, having to leave one person and jump and go to another. So that's one thing there. Another thing again, so apart from that, there's really no issue. So that would be yes. The yes part of it, of whether it matters for men, is that a time come that you may now start wanting and desiring variety. We usually say this, that you will not be hungry for food that you have not yet tasted. Everything could just be a wish. But the moment you've tasted that thing, you have seen that thing, you've handled that thing, it moves into a desire, and a desire is stronger than a wish. A desire usually becomes a need, something that you want to really get done, and you want to spend all the energy you have, spend all your resources to get that particular thing. And this is where it also counts for men. As a father, by the time you're not married, you start comparing your wife and comparing her body, comparing her ability to other women, to other people that you have been with in the past. So you start wishing that, you're not doing like this was how this person was doing it, you're not doing like that, this was how this person was doing it. And so that competition would make your wife become offended. It will make her unhappy. It will make her suffer some self-esteem issues that will make her no longer want to be open, not want to explore, want to adventure, right? So bringing that in will just create a lot of competition, and your temptation to want to be adulterous, your temptation to want to hook up with someone, to want to experience something that you are missing will decrease. So yes, it counts. Now, maybe it counts, maybe it does not count for men, is that, of course, we are all creatures of habits. We are running on specific programs which may either be genetic or they are mental. So it automatically means that if you've learned bad behaviors, you could unlearn it. If you have a bad wiring and bad mindset, you can renew it, right? Scriptures will say, be that transformed by the renewing of your mind, which means that you can renew it. You can change how you think. You could change your thinking pattern. You could change your worldview, your perspective, and how you see the world and how you see things, right? So let's go to women. Let me answer for ladies. I know this is usually the big one. Does body count matter for women? If I answer it from my own personal experiences, the answer would just be no. I remember as a teenager, my counselor asking me a question, and she said, all right, this is how she asked it. I'm trying to paraphrase. All right, if God says that you should marry a lady who is a prostitute, or a lady who is a commercial sex worker, or a lady who gets to have multiple sexual partners and the rest, would you marry the person? That was the question. My answer was yes, and the reason was because I had an understanding. And that understanding was that I had the understanding that people could change. I had the understanding that the vagina was elastic. So if the person may have had multiple sexual experiences before, the vagina could always come back and become tightened back again to adapt and adjust to this particular sexual partner. I had the understanding that the person's sexual past did not defend that person. And that was because before then, I was also sexually active, right? So it was easy for me to understand. It was easy for me to get the place of a commercial sex worker or a prostitute. My rule was just simple. Was the person's decision? Does the person still want to continue, or the person is choosing to change a new leaf, to turn a new leaf, to become a better person, right? So for body count for women, does it matter? The truth about it is, it's the same thing that applies to men. She would most likely start comparing you with her exes, right, and all of that. But in reality, my first answer is always no. If the person chooses to that, if the person has gone through healing, if the person has gone through therapy, and the person has made the commitment to stick to one partner, right? Was it your own means? I don't want to date somebody that other people have had sex with. I don't want to marry somebody that other people have had sex with. Whereas you have also had sex with other people. All right. So what is good for the goose is good for the gander. How do you want us to judge you? How do you want us to see you and to rate you? Right. Because the people that she have had sex with are just still like you, because you too, you've had sex with other people. Unless, of course, you're a virgin and you're trying to bring in one purity thing or the other, which may be of the old. Yes. All over the different religions, the different top religions of the world, most popular religions of the world, the different cultures of the world, the ancient cultures of the world, we've always seen again and again that these people always wanted to marry virgins and the rest. And that's because women at those particular times, they were treated as goods, property, chartered, right? So if you're going to be paying for something, you want to pay for the best. Everybody wants to pay for something new, and you don't want to pay the price. You don't want to pay the price of a new thing and get a fairly used thing. That time women were treated and we were seeing nothing more than property, things that men acquired, things that men bought, things that men possessed. In that age and in that time, with that mindset and taking pattern, it's quite understandable if men said, hey, any person I marry must be somebody who has not had sex with another person, somebody who has never been married before, somebody who has never breastfed a child before, because I'm owning this person, wanting to have this person to myself. But this is 2022, right? That ticket pattern is far gone. You're not buying her. You're actually inviting her to come and share your life. You're inviting her to partner with you in life, to partner with you in having a family, right? So if you look at it from that perspective, it does not matter. It doesn't. Because right now, you are not trying to say, oh, what goods am I buying? Is it a new goods or is it an old goods? You're buying this good. And the goods that you have before you is the person's intelligence, the person's personality, the person's character, the person's worldview, the person's taking part on, the person's values. And of course, the person's prospects, the person's vision. These are the things before you. These are the things you should focus on, especially if the person has chosen to move from his or her past. When I'm saying move from his or her past, I'm saying this person is coming to say, I'm committing to you and I'm being committed to you. Or are we having the fear that because she has been sexually active before, she would compare us to others, and at the same time, we may not be able to match up? Or we feel that, oh, maybe because she's tasted different men, she will not be loose. Only one person cannot satisfy her. Well, that's the same fear, the same concern, the same worry that women have with men who have had multiple sexual partners. So does body count matters? The answer is no. If your focus is on this person, right? If your focus is on this person, and of course, this person, this person is good, this person is upright, this person has the virtues that you want in a wife, the virtues that you want in a husband, this person has the right value system that can match with yours that you like, this person regards sex in marriage as sacred, and this person has been able to live a life consistent, to become chaste, to be able to do without having multiple sexual partners and the rest. If you follow this, if you follow what you're presented with, then the answer is no. Why are you stressing yourself with everything that have happened in the past? Yes, I know you're also concerned that, okay, the competition may come in, the inability to satisfy him or to satisfy her may be there. That's where counseling and therapy comes in. So you seek counseling, you seek a therapist to be able to help you guys stick to each other. The truth is, it's not easy. It's not going to be easy when you have tasted Precious, Amaka, Juliana, and she has also tasted with more men. And right now, you guys are committed to be with each other for life. Definitely a time will come, you will see people who remind you of your ex. You will see people who remind you of somebody that you want to have sex with, and you will crave that desire once more. This is why we usually encourage people who are single to, as much as possible, stay away from premarital sexual activities, because when you get married, it's going to affects how you view the world and other people. So it means you're going to have most likely more temptations, and you're going to most likely have to be comparing your partner with other people, right? Or maybe you had an ex, that once gave you oral sex and now your spouse is not willing to give oral sex. So rather than allow your spouse grow and metamorphose, rather than the two of you working things out, you usually come and start complaining and quarreling that he or she does not want to, rather than allowing the person to grow, right? So it will cause you unnecessary fights. But the truth of it is something that is straightforward. What is good for the goose is good for the gander. If men are saying body count matters when it comes to women, then they should also realize that body count matters when it also comes to men, right? It should, if he's boosting your profile, then she boost her profile. If he's reducing her value, her worth, then should also reduce your value and your worth. That is how I see it, right? And again, we must understand the time we live in, the world we live in, the age we live in. Tastes are not the same. Several years ago and all of that, we do understand that many people got married as teenagers. The moment they started puberty, they were ripe for marriage. Many people married, many ladies married at 13. So it could actually be very embarrassing for you to see a 13-year-old lady at that particular time not being a virgin. So if you're complaining, technically, I will see your complaints to be valid. But once again, this is 2022, and you're marrying a lady who is 25 years old. You're not marrying a 12 years old girl, 9 years old girl, 13-year-old girl. You're marrying a 27, a 30, a 33 years old. You're not marrying a girl who was just inside the house, around the compound. No, you're marrying somebody who went to school, a miss nursery school, primary school, secondary school, right? Who had access to the romantic novels, the romantic movies, the romantic and sexual songs, who attended the university, who was exposed to the billboards, the adverts, the sexual contents that we have out there. If you're expecting and insisting that such a person should be a virgin before the person will be value enough, will be worth you marrying them, then something is wrong with you, technically. Yeah, and generally. Something's wrong with you. You need to understand that. What does the Bible teach us? Apostle Paul in 1 Corinthians chapter 7, he encouraged people to get married. Why? So that they'll be able to stay away from sexual temptations. If Apostle Paul at that time, several years ago, more than 2,000 years ago, thereabout, in an age and time where people were getting married at 12, 13, 14, 15, he was saying that people should get married to avoid sexual temptations. Imagine what it is for us today when people are getting married at the age of 28, 27, 35. Right? Imagine 2,000 years ago, how much of sexual content did they have compared to what we are having right now on our fingertips? What we are having, even if you don't want to be exposed to it, it pops up on your screen, is there on the road, is there out there in the stores that you visit everywhere. So if you find somebody who is a virgin today, thank God for the person. If you find a person who is not a virgin, also thank God for the person. It means that one way or the other, this person, something happened. Right? And accept the person for who the person is today, and not necessarily for who you are being with. I don't, that's thing we do to ourselves. You want to know, who are these persons? Where are they right now? What did they do? How did they do it? This and that. No, please don't hurt yourself. Don't do that to yourself. It's not nice. It's not fair. It's not going to do you any good. If she says I've been with 3 people before in the past, let her be free. If she wants to talk about it, fine. If she doesn't know how to talk about it, you don't have to. Deal with what you have right now. Don't tell me what you have right now is used goods. You're also used. Yes, you know that. Don't tell me that, this person has been a sinner. Man, if the person has been a sinner and the person means Jesus Christ today, that's what the person needs. To be a saint, as I almost said as saintish. But that's what the person needs to be, as saint as Jesus is. Right? So let's not go out there. Don't lose amazing people. Don't lose good people because of their body count. Again and again, I've heard people say, they cannot even marry a virgin. I've heard women say they cannot marry a virgin. I've heard men say they cannot marry a virgin. Why do people make finding somebody so difficult for you guys? No wonder it's so difficult for you to find a spouse. No wonder it's so difficult for you to find somebody to marry, because you've set unrealistic terms and conditions that do not favor your search. Trust me, I don't think it makes sense for you to lose an amazing person just because of their sexual past, especially if they are moved beyond that past, if they are living a life different from that right now. Right? And at the end of the day, I also want to ask, what are your values? Do you believe in premarital sex? If you believe in premarital sex, if you think premarital sex is okay, then you should. You don't have the in law will say the local standard, you don't have the grounds, you don't have the moral grounds to condemn another person for having body counts, because that's your value system and that person is sharing your value system. So why are you complaining? Why are you having issues with it? Right? I don't get it. So it is only if you believe that, oh, okay, so I want to believe I'm addressing those who don't believe in premarital sex, so, and they are concerned that somebody else has been involved. But if you believe in that, and even this person, if you start dating this person right now, you still want to have premarital sex with them, then you don't have the right to blacklist them, to paint them black, to talk down on them, look at them cheap, look at them worthless, just because you have had sexual experiences with people. That's who you are too. That's your value system. That's why I said my answer to this as to whether if body count matters. My answer is still no, yes, and maybe, because it all depends on you. It doesn't depend on God, doesn't depend on society. As long as this person has decided to move from that, has taken steps and is doing things to become better, to be sexually committed, to be sexually faithful. The person maybe have gone through therapy or counseling. The person has made spiritual vows and the rest. Yes, challenges will still come. Realistic challenges will still come. Let's not deny that. Realistic challenges will still come up, comparing you with the other person and all of that. But if this is your value, why are you complaining? Right? Do not lose a good man and a good woman just because of their sexual past that they have gone past. Thank you. My name is Earl and I'm alright. I want you to subscribe, share this with your friends, follow us, drop a comment, ask us questions, contact us directly. We will respond. You rock.